Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in for my first knife review. This is going to be for the Ferrum Forge Massdrop collaboration. This is the DAO. It's manufactured by We Knife Company. And if you don't know anything about We Knife Company, they really make some high quality knives, and this one is no different. The fit and finish are great. It is over what I would consider a budget friendly knife, as this one does come in at $140 on the Drop website, but for the quality and the materials of the knife, I still think you're getting a really good bargain. And speaking of that, let's go over the specs real quick. So the blade length is 3.4 inches. The closed length is 4.3 inches. The overall length is 7.6 inches. The weight is 3.4 ounces. The blade steel is S35VN. The scales, pocket clip, and backspacer are all titanium, and I will make sure to put those specs in the description below. So let's do a quick size comparison. So I have, first is the Civivi Elementum. It's fairly close in size, just slightly larger in the handle and in the blade. That one. I also have the medium Honey Badger. This is the worn cleaver blade, and once again it is slightly larger in the blade, but the handle length is very similar. So what drew me to this knife was the profile of the blade and the thinness of the handle. Just the overall shape of this is very unique. The blade shape is, they have it listed as a modified sheep's foot, with a little bit of drop point in there. It does have a flat saber grind. The jimping on top of the blade is nice. It's not overly aggressive, but it gives you just enough grip to make a purchase so your finger doesn't slip off, helps you control the knife better. The deployment hole is also a really cool shape. It adds some uniqueness to it, and I have been able to open the knife flicking it with the deployment hole, but I've not been able to open it that way with my thumb. The deployment is strong. The detent is really nice, as you could hear, or I hope you could hear on the video anyway. The action is super smooth, pops right out. There is no blade play or lock rock. And it being smooth like that is, is because it's running on bearings. So, and it is wiggle shut. It takes a little bit of effort. It won't just fall on its own, but that's mostly due to how thin the blade is. And I did not bring my calipers for this review. I forgot, and so I will include the blade thickness in the description as well. So the ergos of this knife are really nice. Once again, I like the thinner handle. It's not overly big, so it makes a good size to carry in the pocket where it's not noticeable. I do wear a small to medium size glove, and I can get all 4 fingers on the handle and still have a little bit of room left over. I do like that it has the finger choil. It gives you good choke up options so that if you're doing fine detail work or task, you can get a little bit extra grip on the knife. And you can use the top of the blade also here, and it still feels very solid. I wouldn't be worried about my thumb slipping off or anything like that. I haven't noticed any hot spots. It feels really good in the hand. The pocket clip is noticeable, but it doesn't cause any issues or tenderness at all. So the not so good for this guy. And it took a lot for me to really find anything not so good, but it would have to be the size of the flipper tab. It's fairly small in comparison to every other flipper I have. And with it being such a thin handle and a frame lock, I have a over tendency to squeeze and not allow this to deploy. And I'm just carrying it around the house and pulled it out of my pocket a few times. I've rubbed my finger raw just going across the flipper tab and not getting it to deploy. So you will build up some calluses. It happens. The good. Everything else. The materials, the fit and finish, the uniqueness of the blade are all pluses in my book. I didn't talk about this earlier, but also the branding of the knife is very nice and subtle. You can see the blade steel there and the Massdrop logo. You can also see the Ferrum Forge logo, but other than that, there's nothing, there's no markings or billboarding on the knife, and that is a really good touch. Something else I liked was not having a lanyard hole, and I know some of you guys may not like that, but lanyards aren't my thing, so not having the hole there it makes it more symmetrical and just looks really nice to me. And I didn't touch on this either, but the back spacer does have some nice scalloping in it, so it's very textured, very good. Gives you a little bit extra grip in the hand. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do plan to make some more knife reviews coming soon. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those below and I will do my best to answer those. And thanks for watching.